Lamar won, but at what cost? Let's get straight to it.
As the dust begins to settle on the hip-hop civil war, it seems like the real damage is coming into focus. While no blood was spilled, it's safe to say that things haven't been this ugly in rap beef since the days of Biggie and Pac, with Kendrick Lamar basically dissecting every aspect of Drake's identity and not only holding up a mirror to Drake to look at himself, but show the world what he believes to be the real man behind all the fame and fortune. In Euphoria, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us, hip-hop was given 3 of the most blockbuster violations of an artist that the culture has ever seen. And while Drake did put up an admirable fight, he just didn't have the ammo to counteract what Kendrick was putting out there.
He didn't make enough hits, bro.
Only diehard stans of Drake would realistically argue that he'd escaped unscathed from this, or that he even competed on the same level.
Who is rapping better?
I think that Kendrick is rapping
No,
better.
you think Kendrick is rapping better? You think he's putting out better songs? That record is not that good. I don't know what that record would have been amazing if Drake really does have an 11-year-old daughter. He did rap about it. Now y'all saying you mad he rapped about it. Y'all talking about
With over 1 million dislikes on his
Oh my gosh!
speech on
No way! There's no way. No. What? Bro, has this ever even happened to Drake before? Bro, has this ever happened to Drake before? 1.5 million dislikes, bro. I almost said likes, bro. That's how you, bro. 1.5 million dislikes? Bro, Drake. Now is the perfect time to be saying that that Meek Mill shit. Get up!
The aftermath of
No,
Kendrick's
bro,
assault on
no.
his image has basically left
No.
Drake stranded on an island where he faces a shift in public opinion on one side and the wrath of his peers on the other. And while this potentially has major ramifications for Drake going forward, it also might be the beginning of a major cultural shift. Let's break it down. For starters, Kendrick's dismantling of Drake's public image has people assessing whether or not he was really ever truly a part of the culture, or simply someone who just exploited it for financial gain. An artist whose music always focuses more on the personal rather than political, and often retelling meaningless stories rather than something of substance, Dot's continued use of the existing narrative that Drake is a culture vulture has people talking about Drake in a whole new light. A man whose main gripe with Drake has always been his refusal to show up for black issues, Ebro explained that Kendrick's exploration of Drake's mixed background wasn't just race baiting, as some people have tried to paint it. Instead, it was used to—
I mean, how do y'all feel? What do y'all feel like? Y'all feel like Drake is a culture vulture? You know what I'm saying? Y'all feel like he just tries to bite off of every culture or some shit like that? Like, what y'all feel like, bro? I don't know, bro. At the end of the day, even if he is, bro, I feel like, you know, he makes great music, bro. At the end of the day, I don't know Drake as a person. I don't really like to look into people as people, you know what I'm saying? As, like, artists, I don't like to look at them as people because I don't know them, you know what I'm saying? I just listen to the music, and if it's vibey, it's vibey, bro, at the end of the day. And, like, for that reasons, like, that's why I fuck with Drake, bro, because he be making some vibes, bro. He be making some cool-ass music, bro, you feel me? Same thing with Kendrick, you feel me? Making some vibes, make some cool-ass music, you feel me? So it's like, I don't know why we attacking. I don't know. I don't get it.
He stands for nothing in a culture that was born of the need to communicate important ideals to the masses.
The reason Kendrick doesn't like Drake is beyond just, I don't like you as a person.
Yeah, we know that.
He said that too.
Anybody
He
thinking that's
doesn't like
crazy.
what Drake represents in hip-hop. He doesn't like that this individual is not authentic, doesn't represent anything of value to black heritage and black culture, isn't in touch with his blackness enough. I think that is also an important detail because
Might have to move my webcam.
as we know it today, is an
They be putting
extension of
captions
the
down
black
there.
nationalist movement. It is a
Put up
tool
here, man,
to
gonna
share
lie.
information and educate ourselves when the establishment doesn't do so, and also to make sure that we are represented towards each other and for each other.
Nigga, is that
Part of
PG-13?
what the hip hop thing is, and the basics.
Ain't you supposed to be on the court, Brody?
It goes deeper than that, as in the wake of Kendrick's comments, critics are beginning to wonder if Drake only uses his black identity when it stacks the odds in his favor.
You being a mixed person, explain to people from your perspective the difference between how Drake does it in this hip-hop space as opposed to somebody like J. Cole.
Okay.
You know, J. Cole spends his time doing commentary about society and about his community and the places he comes from, which is
the issues
in touch
within
with
our
the
culture.
black heritage part of hip-hop. J. Cole is in touch with that and understands the importance of that. One of the issues that I think even the OVO team has had was the Childish Gambino thing when I was up here talking about, yo, bro, don't on This Is America because you don't ever have anything to say, which is one
Drake was hating on it?
indictment of Kendrick.
Or
Kendrick
OVO
is
was
not
hating on
saying
it?
Drake is not black. Kendrick is saying you only act black when it's time for you to use blackness to make money. When it comes to any other black issues or black anything, we don't see you.
By using another biracial rapper like J. Cole as an example, in my opinion, Ebro perfectly
got Drake
depicts
on
how
that
Cole
part.
takes on the cultural responsibility
Yeah.
that Drake has avoided.
Kinda
for
got
most of
Drake
his
on that, I
career.
ain't gonna lie.
All the while, Drizzy has reaped the rewards of it at every opportunity. Now, it's unfair to say that Drake has never shown up for the black community. After all, at the height of the BLM movement, he donated $100,000 to National Bailout. But there's also a case to be made that this is the bare minimum he could have done when you consider the profit he's made from the culture. Ultimately, the issue with Drake comes down to code switching, and unfortunately, there are plenty of clips from his past as a child actor where he seems to purposefully distance himself from the black culture to integrate
Really?
into white environments. Just look at this clip where he mocked the Toronto accent, which takes influence from Jamaican, East African, and Middle Eastern diaspora.
The guys at our school, instead of addressing people like the group, like saying like, what are you guys doing? Say man's like you. It's really ignorant.
Then you're
Nigga, you be saying that now! Drake, what you mean, bro? What you mean, Drake? You be saying that shit now, bro. You be saying that shit now. Oh, no, Drake. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Oh, nah, Drake. Your time had to be coming then, bro. I ain't know all this was on you, bro. Oh, my gosh. Drake. Get up!
Our accents. I don't know who started talking like that.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet that guy. I literally want to meet the first Toronto man of all time. I don't know who he is.
Fast forward to when Drake decided he wanted to be a rapper, and suddenly his disdain for the Toronto accent was gone. Instead, he was claiming it as a part of his culture. But to make matters worse, Drake is simultaneously facing darker accusations. Years before Kendrick started throwing out allegations about Drake in the OVO camp, certain figures had always side-eyed Drake's alleged admiration for younger women. In fact, famous comedian Shane Gillis even predicted his downfall. On an episode of Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast in the summer of 2019,
what the fuck is this picture?
Foretold what's now happening to Drake, right down to the timeline.
I want to be on the record. Drake's going to be, he's on that R. Kelly tip. Drizzy Drake likes him young. Somewhat known already. This is one of those things where you got to say something. Like, remember Louis, that whole thing? We knew about that. And we were just like, I don't know. Drizzy Drake's into the young ones. He's going to get got in the next 5 years.
Notice he mentions Louis C.K. here. If you're not up on that story, the famous stand-up was in front of women in the comedy scene, and everybody knew. Known to affiliate with the younger generation, Drake has some strange ties to teenagers in the past.
We just texted each other the other day.
We seen this clip.
I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more.
I mean, I've only like texted him, but he's so nice. Like.
Then you have the whole scenario with Bella Harris.
She was born in 2000, bro. I don't get this
Nigga, Yusuf
in 2016 laying up on her, bro. Then as soon as she turned 18, they took her out on a date, bro.
Now, back then, people like Millie Bobby Brown came to his defense,
Drake.
but they're notably staying very silent these days now that they're not only older, but things that are less defensible as simply friendliness have come to light. As for his interest in Bella Harris, her claim was that he was a fan of women's high school basketball. Like, that's a perfectly normal sentence to say as a 30-year-old man. Now, we are in no way making claims here or trying to imply anything, but between SZA having to clarify that she wasn't underage and Georgia Smith being just 19 when she hooked up with the 31-year-old Drake, the whole thing wasn't a great look to begin with. But now, post Kendrick's exposed attempts, Drake's Teenage Fever comment section on YouTube is now flooded with the worst claims a musician could imagine.
You say the word, why second guess? I should have stayed.
This nigga Joe Budden, bro.
On Teenage Fever. Answer me. You say the word, I'm on the way. What word? It's a go? Y'all gonna look back one day and say, oh, it was right there.
There's still no evidence on Drake, though. You feel me? Like, we saying all this, there's still no evidence, though. You know what I'm saying? This is all just things that we putting together. You feel me? Like, you just gotta keep it real.
For the youth, Drake has always fought to retain that fan base in his career by moving.
He gonna get got if it's true, though. Everything comes to light. Y'all see P. Diddy.
Business sense. But from a darker perspective, now revealed by Kendrick's diss tracks, it implies that Drake isn't just cornering that market to stay hot, but to retain access to the younger audience. For one thing, it explained why he now has a 26-year-old in Lil Yachty writing the bulk of her loss, why he flew out a fresh-faced Ice Spice when Munch popped off, or why it was rumored that he just recently signed 4 Bats to a one-album deal. For a clearer example, before the days of Not Like Us, it was easy.
And that one album kind of crazy, though. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, though.
I never even thought about, like, Drake is singing about a 20-something-year-old. I was just like, that's what music is. Like, if anybody sung about a 40-year-old, with all due respect, I'll be like, what the f-? I think hip-hop is always kind of meant to kind of appeal to that age range. Unless you're going to do, like, some Jay-Z, you're married and you're doing 444. If you're going to be rapping about partying, going out, casually dating, you're going to be rapping about that age range, whether you name drop it or not.
But what's telling is that even with Act being such a verifiable Drake stan, he has since acknowledged that Drake now has to move completely different.
he's probably gonna have to keep his affairs with women either much more secretive or not be pictured with the chick who just graduated college. Because they're now planting and putting this jacket on him. They usually do. If you're not you're a groomer.
In his opinion, songs like Teenage Fever will have to be a thing of the past, as too many people could interpret certain bars as lusting after young ladies. In fact, there's every chance that it might change his whole writing process.
So now with Drake, when he
I don't think it's gonna be that deep. I don't think he's gonna do all that.
Nobody's gonna think I'm writing about kids because this line is meant to be something else. He's talking about it like it was a dream of his since he was a kid. It's now got people looking at lyrics trying to get different meanings now. So now when Drake's writing the next slap, he probably got a line that is fire on paper, but it's like, yo, these motherfuckers gonna take it this way now.
Offering no defense rather than I'm too famous to be an abuser, this presents a dangerous crossroads for Drake's career. Drake fans have endured a lot over the years, but for some, these allegations are just a step too far.
You know what you need to be focusing on? Are denouncing all these allegations. Prove that you didn't do this. If you can't, pack it up. I'll be deleting everything from OVO. I'm done. You engage in that kind of... Bro, I cannot support you in any type of way.
Bro, we gotta figure, like, bro, we gotta find out, though. You feel me? Like, Drake is not gonna come up posting a bunch of stuff. Like, let's keep it... Bro, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic right now. He's not. His team gotta do something, but he is not going to, bro. Himself. He's not going to, bro. We already know this, bro. You feel me? He can say he didn't do it, but, like, also, we got to understand what type of proof do he got to show that he didn't do none of this, these allegations. Like, what type of proof are we wanting, though? Let's be real. Let's keep it a buck, bro. Let's keep it a buck. And Kendrick's, you know what I'm saying, whole thing, I feel like Kendrick, like, Whitney can easily just come out and say he didn't ever hit her. Or if he did hit her, she would say that. You feel me? With Drake, you got to have the people that y'all talking about come out and say if he did it or not, though. Like, what's he supposed to say other than I didn't do that shit? Like... Come on, bro. Let's keep it real, bro. We keep it fair over here.
Relieved of his ability to make club smashes about casual sex without a few jokes.
And I ain't trying to back him up or nothing like that.
Verbal demolition of Drake means that this isn't the only part of his creative process that'll have to change. As now, he's basically incapable of heading to Atlanta without the colonizer narrative.
Can Drake put out a record with an artist from Atlanta and people ain't gonna look at it funny?
I think whatever move he makes, people will look at it funny.
He wouldn't as often make street records just for the streets.
This does change the game for Drake in that way, though. I ain't gonna lie. He can't. It's gonna be hard to try to come back and like make some straight type music or anything like that. Like, it's gonna be hard, Drake. I ain't gonna lie. But it is Drake, so I'm gonna be like, okay, he could probably do it. But at the same time, it's going to be hard because nobody really gonna look at you the same way. You feel me? People are not gonna look at you the same way, bro. You just lost the battle to Kendrick, bro. A lot of people won't bump your shit like that. Like that type of music. Niggas are still gonna bump your love music, your vibe music. Niggas are still gonna bump that. Your straight music though, I don't know, man. I don't know.
That because the streets in this hip hop means something. They mean something to your credibility. I believe that Drake has to think more carefully about making those moves now because it's been exposed.
When talking about large-scale issues that this new power balance in hip-hop represents, this banishment from Atlanta is one that will definitely hurt Drake. But the idea that anyone would want to get on a track with him at the minute is hypothetical. Because for now, it feels like a lot of people are distancing themselves from Drake. When Drake dropped Family Matters, the comments were flooded with streamers standing shoulder to shoulder with him as opposed to rappers. Meanwhile, someone like Lil Yachty, who was mentioned directly on Euphoria, stayed out of it. Even when he liked to tweet about K-Dot's apparent shady history, he cowardly said it was an accident when news outlets picked it up. Similarly, 21 Savage only gave his views on the Metro and Drake aspect of the beef, instead of showing support for him with any.
Bro, hey, bro, after that last video we watched of Kendrick, these boys don't want no type of smoke with Kendrick. No smoke with Kendrick. No smoke with him, bro. Like, Kendrick got all these rappers spooked, bro. It's crazy.
K-Dot.
It's actually crazy to see.
Yesteryear, Weezy and Nicki Minaj have
outside looking in, bro, it's crazy.
Silent. In Nicki's case, this is a stark difference from how she responded to the story of Adidon, where she actively supported him on Twitter. So why are they bailing on him? Well, the answer is that while there's many things rappers will defend you for, what he's being accused of now isn't one of them. As a result, they don't want their image tarnished by associating with him right now. Because from hip-hop heads to high schools, the
but shit, nigga, I ain't gonna lie. Even before those allegations came out, though, before A Minor, before all that, nobody was really stepping up for Drake. Let's keep it 100 right now. Nobody was. So it didn't even take that.
Shifted.
I, up until today, taught at a very Drake
We seen this clip.
high school. Rich Baby Daddy is the most frequently requested song to put on my class playlist. But today I walk in and I can feel that there has been a tectonic shift. I had like one Drake defender in each class, if that. And honestly, I feel bad for those kids because they were getting screamed at.
Although only time will tell if these effects upon Drake's image are long-lasting or temporary, one thing
Nah,
that
it's
seems
just insane,
evident
though.
is that he is likely done with beefing when it's always left him battle-scarred and with a hole in his public image.
I think this proved to me that Drake is completely done with he's completely done with rap battles. He can't do that anymore. It's not because of ability, but because of where he is. Kendrick Lamar's numbers, like, he's about to go #1 next week with the new song he just dropped to Drake. You're gonna give this guy his #1 solo record of his whole career because you would engage with him.
For one thing,
It's not even that, bro. Drake is not gonna do these rap battles with anybody else because the fans, the audience, everybody, like, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not saying like everybody's just praying on Drake's downfall, but everybody does not, like, everybody kind of hates on Drake. Everybody kind of picks fun at Drake, you feel me, and everything like that. So, like, they're gonna go for whoever he's going against, bro. That's just what it is, bro. And that's how I feel like Drake even feels right now. Because I don't feel like Drake thinks that, you know what I'm saying, he really, really, truly got washed and wiped in this rap. Like, even that's what I was saying. I said Kendrick won fair and square. He did, bro. He did. I ain't gonna say he, like blast. Like, I ain't gonna say he outdid him like crazy. I ain't gonna say anything. He made the hit. It's lasting. Shit, and they got me singing the hit and all that, rapping the hit. So, I say he made the hit, but I won't say he washed him or anything like that. And that's why I feel like Drake not trying to do the rap battle. He probably won't do a rap battle no more, bro. You feel me?
Because Humble is actually Kendrick's first solo #1. It just didn't debut there. But that doesn't change the fact that Not Like Us has now broken Drake's own record for biggest debut with God's Plan. Now,
That's
got a
insane.
sting for Drake, who has always been about the numbers. But so too,
Yeah, that definitely hurts. I know that shit hurt him bad.
Because while Kendrick's numbers are up with his catalog soaring over 49%, Drake is actually down 3%. For all that, Drake undeniably took the L here. But it doesn't mean that Kendrick escaped scot-free either. For one thing, his fan base are now aware that he has the ability to drop more frequently and just chooses not to. While this is likely a Pandora's box he didn't want to open, you also have the small matter of the power vacuum that's in place if Drizzy is really forced to bow out after all this. Naturally, people like Ack believe that he'll have to move more like Drake in order to take the top spot, which requires a level of being present in the culture. But when you really think about it, that wasn't the point of the whole beef. Despite claiming the top spot on Like That, which started this all off, Kendrick doesn't want to inhabit the same space as Drizzy. He just wanted to create a void where that could be filled by someone, anyone else. When he said it was just Big Me, he wasn't talking about dominating the charts. He was talking about sheer lyrical ability and creating the best music. A man who claims to live a boring life because he loves peace? Kendrick isn't interested in extracting anything else that Drake had, apart from his credibility. But as the debris clears and we begin to look at a future where Drake is minimized and Kendrick's reach has probably only expanded, there are questions to be asked if this was all worth it. Now, if Drake truly is everything Kendrick says he is, then there's no denying that getting rid of him was basically a public service. But there's also collateral damage to what's been said. As Teo Barrow said in her Guardian piece, there is a case to be made that while these two titans of the industry were squaring off, the women who were caught in the middle, whether it was Kendrick's wife or Drake's alleged victims, really lost out from the battle. These men are casually rapping about child and harboring secret children that they've presumably known about for years, but only chose to reveal when they were fighting. And using each other's possible victims as ammunition in a battle that has nothing to do with these women isn't just perverse and morally reprehensible. It reveals the degree to which hip-hop and the music industry as a whole continue to protect terrible men, even while their behavior, or alleged behavior, is an open secret.
I mean, whoever wrote this, they ain't lying, though.
Might feel like it's rich coming from someone with his history. This is also a point made by Charlemagne, who felt that the exposés weren't done for genuine reasons.
I don't like seeing these brothers Me Tooing each other over a rap feud. To me, that's corny. Like, if you're gonna call somebody, if you're gonna call someone, a woman, you gotta have some real proof.
It's for this reason.
Not even real proof, bro. Don't do it in a rap battle. Don't do it in a rap battle. Just call that nigga a pedophile. Just call that nigga a pedophile. You feel me? Don't do it like with them music, cause then it looks like y'all only calling each other out on that shit because of sales and like trying to get the fans. Like, yeah, you feel me?
Love actually thinks that there were no real victors here. When asked his views, Vince Staples believed it detracted from the real issues facing hip-hop and black creatives. In fact, he went as far to suggest that it basically set the culture back years.
That record label just folded all of its independent labels and subsidiaries into each other. None of them exist no more. They fired all the heads of the labels, and if they didn't, they turned them into glorified A&Rs. They cut off 50% of the people who work in all these departments. Most of those people is us, people of color that come from hip-hop and R&B and these other things, right? Personally, I think we better than that. I think we deserve better than that because we've been saying for decades that we want people to respect black music and black art and black people. And I think for that to happen, we got to respect ourselves.
Nah, this is crazy
and
right
they don't
here.
make it easy for us, but we got to try to work a little bit harder at that.
From the innocent bystanders and potentially traumatized people who had to live through this again, there are strong cases to be made that maybe Kendrick and Drake's beef did hip-hop more harm than good. Similarly, others claim that this beef saved hip-hop. But what do you...
I ain't gonna lie, man. Y'all can say it saved hip-hop. I feel like they dropped off some good-ass songs, you feel me? I feel like they dropped off some cool songs, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it saved hip-hop or did anything. In some years, we gonna come back and talk about it. As for right now, it did. We definitely needed it because we ain't have nothing going on in music, you feel me? But, I don't know, man. I hate to see two big rappers, you feel me, going at it like this, bro. That shit crazy.